Hey, this is Ranger Rich with Sci-Fi City, and this is the comic pull list for Wednesday, September 4th, 2019. First, we have Battlepug from Image Comics. Series premiere, the hit fan-favorite webcomic created by the Eisner Award-winning duo of Mike Norton and Alan Pasalaka, is now a new comic series. It's been a few years since Alaskamundian saved the world with the help of his faithful Battlepug, but a new threat arises. The epic tale returns as our favorite barbarian and his trusty overgrown dog renew their quest for insane adventure. Same dog, new tricks. This is a really adorable cover. I just love the whole concept of a fierce fighting pug, battle pug, so I thought I would check this out. And next, Spawn 300 from Image Comics. Spawn makes history with this 300th issue. Spawn becomes the longest running independent series in comic book history. To celebrate, legendary artists Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo return with all new interior pencils, with additional art provided by Jason Sean Alexander, J. Scott Campbell, and Jerome Opia. A cavalcade of celebrity covers and additional writing by Scott Schneider. And next month, records will be broken with Spawn 301. So this is a classic cover of Spider-Man 300 that Todd McFarlane did back in, I think it was in 1988 maybe? Anyway, so there's going to be many different covers. I thought this was a cool cover. Here's the actual A cover, the main cover that's going to be on. So, but there's a whole lot of covers, so you'll have to go check them. Batman number 181 Facsimile edition. Beware of Poison Ivy. The debut of one of the dynamic duo's greatest foes is reprinted in this new Facsimile edition, just in time for Harlequin and Poison Ivy number 1. In this story, Poison Ivy crashes an art gallery opening to announce that she intends to become Gotham City's greatest villainess. How will the Cape Crusaders stop her mad plan when Ivy's kisses can cloud men's minds? And in the backup story, Batman must help one of the mystery analysts of Gotham City when she's threatened by a mysterious voice. This issue also includes a 2-page pinup of the dynamic duo. I just love this cover. It's classic. It has that Peter Pan feel to it because, you know, female version of Peter Pan and the Shadow, they're attached to her. So yeah, it's just a classic. You gotta check it out. And notice how you can barely find where it says number 181. It's up there in the corner. Everything number 1 by Dark Horse Comics. Everything is a gleaming new mega department store, which arrives to extraordinary thrill and rapidly escalates to inescapable mania in the small town of Holland, Michigan, when random hellish fires and unshakable psychic disturbances start to overtake the community. A few liked depressive out-of-towner Lori and a suspicious local man named Rick begin to suspect everything and its catalog-perfect manager, Shirley. Who or what exactly is in charge here, and what insidious plans are in store? From Christopher Cantwell and artist I.N.J. Culberd comes a new monthly ongoing series, Everything, a truly bizarre story about the most horrifying pursuit of happiness you've ever read. Well, with the way things are with Walmart and Amazon and everything, I just thought this book is very appropriate for what's going on in our modern culture right now. I mean, just think about it. You can get everything. Deceased, A Good Day to Die, number 1 from DC Comics, written by Tom Taylor and art by Laura Braga. While the mainstays of the Justice League, Superman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman battle the worldwide infection in the pages of Deceased, a group of other heroes work to stop the impending apocalypse, no matter who they have to kill. Mr. Terrific assembles a motley crew of surviving heroes, including Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, John Constantine, Blue Beetle, and Booster Gold, as they attempt to fight back against the tide of death. Can this ragtag group save the world where the Justice League has thus far failed? I just love the story, Deceased. I'm glad they have a little spin-off here, this side team that kind of has their own set of issues, so I'm going to definitely pick this up. Doomsday Clock number 11 by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. The critically acclaimed series by the renowned team of Jeff Johns and Gary Frank marches toward its conclusion. In this penultimate issue, the truth behind Rebirth is revealed as Batman searches for the one person he believes can help him save the world, Rorschach. You know, I really have been enjoying the Doomsday Clock storyline, but it's taken forever. I feel like it's behind, but it's issue number 11 of 12, so it's almost wrapped up. Of course, on the cover you see Batman's hand. It looks like he's stopping a military person's hand from launching a missile of some kind. So, Absolute Carnage Scream number 2 for Marvel Comics, written by Cullen Bunn and art by Geraldo Sandoval. Patricia Robertson may know symbiotes, but nothing could have prepared her for their god Null. With Carnage building strength to call the symbiote god to Earth, Patricia must harness the power of the Scream symbiote. Can Scream withstand the draw of Null, or are they doomed to be another casualty? The Absolute Carnage storyline's been great. I can't wait to see how this goes. The Immortal Hulk number 23. From Marvel Comics, written by Al Ewing and art by Joe Bennett. The war has come home, and Shadow Base is the battleground. The stage is set for the final confrontation between the new Abomination and the Immortal Hulk. I just love these covers. They are fantastic. The Immortal Hulk's been one of the best books all year, so be sure and pick this up. Harlequin and Poison Ivy number 1 from DC Comics, written by Jody Houser and art by Adrian Milo. Harlequin and Poison Ivy are taking their show on the road in this new miniseries. They'll have to evade villains and heroes alike while they explore their relationship and unpack their time and experiences at Sanctuary. Set after the events of Heroes in Crisis and smack in the middle of Year of the Villain, it's a journey across the DC universe that will change their friendship forever, if they live that long. So this definitely has a Thelma and Louise vibe to it, so gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun for everybody. If you're a fan of Harley and Poison Ivy, then you definitely need to pick this up. Justice League number 31 from DC Comics, written by Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV and art by Jorge Jimenez. The Justice Doom War Part 2. The culmination of Lex Luthor's plan hinges on his beating the Justice League to the prize, ratcheting up the peril as the Year of the Villain continues. The totality has shattered and its pieces have been tossed across space and time. Thus the Justice League must also split apart, forming 3 search teams to comb the past, present, and future to recombine the totality before the Legion of Doom can get its villainous hands on the cosmic weapon. What allies will our heroes find in these other timelines? In the future, it's the last boy on Earth, Kamandi. But in the past, there are the familiar faces of the Justice Society of America. So if you've been watching these videos that I've been doing for Sci-Fi City, you'll hear me talk about this book. Justice League has been my favorite. In fact, I did a review of Justice League number 25, which was kind of a prequel to the whole Year of the Villain kickoff. So this is my favorite book going right now, and I love the cover with, you got the Justice Society, it looks like, at the top, and I think they're in the past, and then all the way down at the bottom, you've got, I believe that's the Anti-Monitor and the World Forger, and then just a whole lot of stuff going on. And of course Flash is right in the middle, because as we all know, Flash is a key component to Crisis on Infinite Earths, and this is all kind of related to that. So I can't wait to get my hands on this book. Legion of Superheroes Millennium number 1, written by Brian Michael Bendis and art by Jim Lee, Dustin Guyan, Andrea Sorrentino, Andre Araujo, and others, with a cover by Ryan Sook. Brought to you by some of comics' greatest talents, this epic story spans the course of 1,000 years, and for the very first time connects all of DC's future timelines, starring the unlikeliest of DC heroes as she learns to cope with the newfound immortality and roams through the desperate societies of Batman Beyond, Kamandi, and Tommy Tomorrow, wrestling with her own inner demons and desperately trying to find her purpose in an ever-changing world. Do not miss this truly unique take on tomorrow's DC universe, all leading up to a special launch on the Millennium. You know, I love the Legion of Superheroes. I was a big fan back in the 80s and 90s. I'm very excited to see how they handle them when they come back. You know, if you don't know who they're talking about here, there's a character that is alive in current day DC Comics that's going to end up, one of her powers that she wasn't aware of is longevity, apparently, is she's immortal. And so we kind of catch up with her in the future in all these other timelines, and we'll see who that is. I'm not sure who it is yet, but we'll see who that is. I can't wait. House of X number 4, written by Jonathan Hickman and art by Pepe Larraz. Xavier's dream turns deadly for some of his students as they fight back against the humans' plan to eliminate them. Superstar writer Jonathan Hickman continues his reshaping of the X universe alongside Young Guns artist Pepe Larraz. The future of the X-Men begins here. There's a lot going on this cover. With all the red, it makes it seem like there's blood, but really that's the concussive force beam coming out of Cyclops' visor that is making all that red. This book has been kind of interesting for me. I don't know what's going on here. Fantastic Four number 14 from Marvel Comics, written by Dan Slott and art by Paco Medina. point of origin begins. One of Reed Richards' biggest regrets leads to a voyage to the one place in the universe the Fantastic Four have never been. A bold new chapter into the heart and the start of the Marvel Universe, and it all begins here. Don't you dare miss this one. Okay, so I gotta say, I'm intrigued. I'm definitely gonna be picking this up, number 14 of Fantastic Four. I've been wanting this book to come back, and be great again, so hopefully this will be the beginning of something. I'm a big fan of Dan Slott. He's always done real well. Punisher number 15 from Marvel Comics, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Szymon Gudransky. The Battle of New York. You can't fight City Hall unless, of course, you're Frank Castle, but he won't fight alone. Unfortunately, Zemo's got his new Thunderbolts, and they're ready for war. Parental advisory on this book. So, on the cover, who do we have here? It looks like we've got Moon Knight. I think that's Night Thrasher. What's the, I don't know who the woman is back there. Is that Black Widow, maybe? And then, of course, we got Ghost Rider and the Punisher. So, it looks like it's going to be a very violent book. Star Wars number 71 from Marvel Comics, written by Greg Pak and art by Phil Noto. The Rebels and Rogues epic continues as our hero's mission to divert the Imperial fleet spins out of control. On K-43, the Rock Elders probe 3PO's memories and allegiances. Could a droid have more in common with a rock monster than a human? On Lans Capo, a rogue takes a fall and a princess fights a vigilante. And on Kalukan, Luke robs a bank? Wait, Luke robs a bank? Alright, so we see Luke on the cover with his lightsaber, and it looks like he's gonna fight some of the droids. Are those the droids that came from Rogue One? Black Widow number 1 from Marvel Comics, written by Jody Houser and art by Stephen Mooney. Special cover by Jung Yoon Yoon. Black Widow Year 1. One of Marvel Comics' longest-running female heroes finally gets her due. Natasha Romanoff is the deadliest spy in the Marvel Universe and the beating heart of the Avengers. But when a mysterious figure starts exploiting her past, the Widow may have to go back to black and off the grid. Who can she trust in this web of deceit? And more importantly, can her friends trust her? Don't miss the spy tale of the century. I never was that big of a Black Widow fan until the movies, but now I gotta say I'm a huge fan, and this cover by Yoon Jun Yoon is pretty incredible, so definitely gonna have to pick this one up. Death-Defying Devil number 2 from Dynamite Comics, written by Gail Simone and art by Walter Giovanni. The Death-Defying Devil's time in the Winslow house brings him closer to the people he has sworn to protect, but a mystery inside the house is blooming, while the enemy outside moves in closer. Threats loom everywhere, and the devil may be the greatest of them all. The covers for the Death-Defying Devil are always just so incredible, and they always capture my eye. So pick up these books and more at your local Sci-Fi City. So, for those of you that don't know, new comic books come out every Wednesday. So for collectors like me, that's the best day of the week. But I'm sometimes too busy to go on Wednesday, and I don't want to miss out on certain books, right? So I subscribe to the Sci-Fi City comic book subscription service. Now, I know all comic shops have a subscription service like this, but I don't think they all have the discount that Sci-Fi City offers. So if you get between 10 and 19 books a month, you get a 10% discount. That's common at most stores. But at Sci-Fi City, you get 20% discount if you get 20 to 29 books each month. You get a 30% discount if you get between 30 and 39 books each month. And if you get over 40 books a month, then you get a 40% discount on all the books you buy that day. All the books come with a bag and board included. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime. There's no obligation. So, to subscribe, just stop by a Sci-Fi City location near you and fill out the Sci-Fi City Superhero Registration comic book subscription service. That's right, we want you to include your superhero name and your superpowers along with your contact information. And then on the back of the form, you just select which books, or as I call them, instruction manuals, you would like to get each month. So, you just come in whenever you can once a month and say your superhero name, and you'll get your books. So if you like to binge TV shows, then you'll probably like to binge all these comic books. So contact Sci-Fi City today and fill out your form.